Hey everybody, Sandra Expeditions here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do an update to my Booktube introduction that I made last year. And I also wanted to show you my December to be read list. I think that's what TBR stands for. In my heart, I truly want to be part of the Booktube community, but the way my reading is set up, and the consistency, it's not exactly coming along as it should. But I have made some progress, so I wanted to share with you the books that I've read since last year, which haven't been many, actually, and what I will be trying to finish in December, because it is December now. And also, I'll be doing another video coming up in a few weeks on what I plan to read for 2026 next year. I think that I just need to be a little bit more realistic, and I don't have any really big reading goals. To me, what I started recently doing is just trying to read at least one page a day, which I think has been working very well. And also, I think for next month, I'll be just attempting to read one book a month. So yeah, we'll talk about that later. But anyways, on to the books that I've been reading. So I think last year when I did my intro to Booktube, I had talked about how I was reading The Master and the Margarita. Here it is. And as you can see, also my bookshelf is a lot more organized. Someone that I was, yeah, anyways. So somebody saw my bookshelf. I sent them a picture and they sent me their bookshelf. And I realized that I don't have any of the titles out. So now officially my titles are out. But anyways, so Master and the Margarita. I thought it was a pretty decent book. I think I really preferred the first half of the book, and then or the first 2/3 of the book. But I don't know, for some reason it was just taking me a while to finish it. And I'm trying to, okay, what did I give it as a rating? So I remember the first 2/3 being pretty decent, and I had really high hopes for The Master and the Margarita because it's one of Russia's, most renowned literatures. But it wasn't as good as I had hoped it would be. So let's see, what did I give it? Oh, I gave it a 4. Okay, I think a 4 out of 5. I gave it 4 stars. A 4 out of 5. I think that's okay. And did I leave a comment? I said good book, a page turner, very random storyline. Spoiler, it's odd. Okay, this is a spoiler. I'll probably post my reviews in the bottom because I don't want to ruin anyone's anticipation for the book. But actually, is this really a spoiler? I don't think it's a spoiler. So I say it's odd how the love story starts in the last third of the book. Also strange that the devil is granting wishes, etc. Very big character changes in the last third. Still decent. Okay. All right, I guess at the time that I read it, I really did appreciate it a lot more than I thought it was, because right now I'm thinking I had given it a 3 stars, and, maybe at the time that I read it, it had really impressed me, I guess, from a literary point of view. Okay, and so the next book that I had read, which was Pero que habla no muerde. All right, I don't really believe in giving these series of ratings. This is a B2 rating. Sorry, what am I saying? As you can see, I'm not used to reviewing books, so please bear with me. This is a book meant for language learners, and I read this. I'm currently reading another one right now, and I think I have 1 or 2 more that are in the B2 C1 range for language learners. So I think for a language learner, it just automatically should just get a 5 stars. Yeah. So, and they have them for all levels of Spanish. It's like a graded reader type of situation. So the next book that I read was, this is very interesting. So Verity. I read Verity because I heard somewhere that it was like TikTok's biggest book. I think I heard this 2 years ago, as well as The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo or something like that. So I had read Seven Husbands like over a year ago. And then I finally read Verity. And I will say, I am very big on classic literature, high quality literature, which is why a lot of what I read and have read in the past have been books that are highly acclaimed. Highly acclaimed books. And, I mean, obviously not all the books, but anyways, what I will say is that, first of all, I never read the back of a book. I never know. Every book that I read, I have no idea what I'm going into. I just go based off of what people recommended. And this book, did I give it 5 stars? All right. It was an insane page turner. I don't think I have read a book that fast in a minute. I haven't read a book in recent time as good as Picture of Dorian Gray, which I thought was incredible. But did I give it? All right, I gave it 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars not because I can compare it to a classic work of art like Wuthering Heights or Pride and Prejudice or Dorian Gray or many other books that I believe are 5-star literature. Here's my review. It's been a minute since I've read such a page turner. I'm hesitant to give it 5 stars because it's not a literary masterpiece by any means. However, it is captivating. The ending is interesting. I made sure not to investigate drama concerning this author. It's a good book. Not great, but good. So it was definitely a page turner. So that's why I'm giving it 5 stars. I thought it was good. And also, I still know nothing about Colleen Hoover. I heard that this author, Colleen, she's very controversial. I don't know why. I just didn't bother. I don't want to go into like the tea of this author. I'd rather just read a book and enjoy it. And then I did read The Vegetarian. So I read The Vegetarian actually with a group of my friends. So my friend told me she wants to read it. She's Chinese. And then I was like, she was telling me that this is like a top book in Korea and everything like that. And so then I was like, ooh, this sounds really interesting. And then I told my other friend who's Blasian, who is half Korean, because I was like, oh, shoot, this is your culture. Like, do you want to join us and read this together? And then I ended up telling like 2 other people who I'd met from Reading Rhythms. And one of them had already read it and the other one was reading it with us. So we ended up just reading the book together, and I thought it was a decent book. It wasn't as insane as, I heard it was going to be like, gory and all this extra stuff. But I thought it was just like a decent book. Maybe because I was taking my sweet time going through it. I think I was the last one to read it. And actually we set up a dinner to all like discuss the book. And I think I had like 1 chapter left. So yeah, but anyways, I thought it was really cool that like all 5 or 6 of us could just all bond over this book, The Vegetarian. And maybe I should give you something about it. The last thing I remember, I did give it 3 stars. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. The last thing I remember about this book is that, what's very interesting? I feel like when I watch booktubers, they tell you what the book is about. I don't even really remember what The Master and the Margarita was about, really. I remember there were main characters and a devil. I don't really feel like going into it, honestly. But yeah, I thought it was decent. And Verity was, how would I describe Verity? It's a love story, a very controversial love story. And The Master and the Margarita is a lot of chaos. And then the Pero something, it's a little kid, he has a fear of a dog. And The Vegetarian is a Korean lady, and she has mental health issues. And she believes that she is... Should I tell you guys this? I think it's a spoiler, so I won't. But just know that she has mental health issues, and it's very interesting, actually. And yeah, you could just basically see the deterioration of her mental health. I said in my rating, it was good, very unique, still a bit confused. Yeah. It is 10 Best Books, New York Times Book Review 2016. So go get you that book. And then oh wait, no, I won't get into that one yet. I read the Song of Achilles, and the Song of Achilles is a Greek mythology. Look at me, I'm getting into booktube stuff. Okay, yeah. The Song of Achilles, I had discovered it by a YouTuber. Is it Emma? There's a YouTuber who every year she does like a poll of her readers' top books. And, I saw that the Song of Achilles was on there, and it was mentioned along with A Little Life, which I'm still looking for a reading buddy for that because my friends are refusing to read it with me. But anyways, I saw how highly rated this was. And I remember people had mentioned a comment about how like, oh, people's top 10 books for, I don't know, maybe it was like 2022 or 2023. They were like, oh, you guys like to suffer. So I was like, okay, well, let me read this book. And I thought it was a really good book. I don't remember suffering much. It was a love story between, should I go into it? I don't want to, just because I go into books so blind, I didn't even know I was going to go into a gay romance. This is a gay romance. But it's really not that, wild. It's very beautiful and trying to remember. Yeah, I don't know. We follow the life of this regular human who falls in love with a man who is half God. And I think that's all I'll tell you. But I definitely recommend the Song of Achilles. I don't read much Greek mythology outside of like what I had to do in high school. But I thought it was decent. And I also have her other book, which I'll be reading in my TBR, which I'll get into after. So let's see what I gave Song of Achilles. I gave Song of Achilles 4 stars, yeah. I said, very good read. I actually shed a few tears on the last few pages. Ooh, did I? See, this is why it's good to read my reviews because, okay, I shed a few tears in the last few pages. It was a page turner for the first 50%, and the last 25% of the book. So I'm guessing that mid part was like, I wonder, oh, there was a part where like war was just taking forever. It was like dragging on. I was like, y'all gotta get it together. And what else did I say? That in between period almost made me decide the book was average at 3 stars, but it soon regained glory. Definitely recommend. Okay. And finally, I think I took like a little break in between there and reading, which is why, how many books did I read since the last video? The Master and the Margarita and The Vegetarian. So that is for 2024. Oh gosh, it's embarrassing, December 29th. And then this year I read the Spanish book, Song of Achilles. I definitely read Verity. Did I read it this year? Oh shoot, I did read it this year. Okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Dang, don't tell me I only read 4 books this year. This is trash. I can't believe it. Okay, so the last book that I read is James Baldwin, Giovanni's Room. And, I really am a fan of African American literature. I think I read The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. And, I did take some African American literature classes in college. However, this book, I thought it was decent. It was okay. It was also a gay romance. Should I get my... Un momento. I attempted to find my Bi Pride bracelet, but I can't find it. So anyways, back to gay solidarity. So I read this book and I thought it was, it's crazy. All right, let me read my review. I feel like when a book takes me a minute to get through, like in the beginning, I don't remember it being hard. I started it in July and I finished it in November. So I did take a break from reading, obviously. And I think I gave it a 4 stars. And I think the ending, I would say this is a book that like you read in English class and you all dissect it. So, okay. This I said I'm stuck between 3 or 4 out of 5 rating. When analyzed, especially the ending, you will understand so much. Da 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 da. Spoiler, spoiler. Okay. One is da da da. I'm moving it to a 4 for cultural significance. However, it took me a while to get through. So truly a 3.5. So I thought it was average. I don't think a 3 is bad. To me, 3 is decent. It's good. That's really what a 3 means. Out of 5. I thought it was a good book. And I feel like, it took so long. Basically a bisexual man, because I believe the main character, he's bisexual. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I will say that this book really did make me reflect, especially towards the end, because I felt like I saw myself in the character a little bit. And obviously, I'm in 2025 and this individual is back in like, I don't know when this was. Let's say the 1900s. I don't know, maybe the 60s, 70s, where, obviously being gay is something that you can be embraced for and, like really live out your truth. So I definitely like, unfortunately, there were certain characteristics that towards the end I was like, oh gosh, okay. And I remember I shared it on my Instagram and I had one of my friends that I met in Colombia, shout out to him. And he was like, yeah, I read that book, this character, like he just annoyed me. It reminds me of so many of these like bi dudes that I date. And I just da-da-da-da. And I'm like, actually confession. But yeah, it really had me sitting and thinking, like when you really like understand like what you just read, you're just like, okay, this is like, okay, yeah. So I think it's a good book, and I definitely recommend that you read this book. Yeah, all right. So I'm deciding if I should, okay, and honorary mention. I was also reading, and maybe still reading, the top 5 Regrets of the Dying. I think I read this book about 10 years ago, and at the time I loved it. And then this year I was trying to read it again, and it's been absolutely brutal. This did not need to be however many pages this is. You see how thick this is? This needs to be a third of the size. The author is dragging it, and I'm someone, when I start a book, I feel like I have to finish it. There's been like less than whatever I can count on my hands of books that I've never actually finished reading. So yeah. So I'm still reading it, and I'm telling myself I'm going to try to read just like 1 or 2 pages a day. Yeah. And finally, the book that I am reading right now, which is hugely popular, is this book, Jane Eyre. And so far, so good. I'm really in the beginning of the book, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying the book. All right, now, oh, and I'm also reading this book, La Marathon. Yeah, so I'm reading this. It's about, I don't know, I think, so the main characters are obese, and I think they're going to lose weight. Okay, so in terms of my overly ambitious December TBR, which I'm going to have to do a follow-up video on so that you guys can see if I'm actually making progress. So this is the first of the month, and I have 30 days to finish those 2 books that I just showed you, which is La Marathon and Jane Eyre. But I also have these books right here that are highly popular. All right, so the first one is Circe. Circe. This is also by the same author who wrote Achilles, the Song of Achilles. And every time people saw me with the Song of Achilles, they were like, oh, you should read Circe. You should read Circe. And mind you, this is people who I didn't even know who read like that. Like, this is people who I just thought were just, I don't know, sitting in the office, just chilling. People who I just knew in my day-to-day life. Like, everyone's like, you gotta read Circe. So that's why Circe has been added to my December TBR, and also because I'm very embarrassed that I've only read 4 books for 2025. So yeah. And then I also have Lonesome Dove. This is a book that many people have said is the best book that they ever read in their life. It is highly acclaimed. Obviously, many people have also said The Count of Monte Cristo is the best book they've ever read. You know, everything is subjective, which I'll be reading also Count of Monte Cristo in January because I've been pushing it off for so long because I'm just like, I built it up to this big thing where I feel like I have to read these other books before I like really take on that. But I'm just going to read it. Like starting the new year, I'm just going to read it. And also another book that people really just like are like, yo, this book is crazy. All right, so I have Project Hail Mary, which is everyone's, maybe this will be a thumbnail, which is apparently, you know, everyone's best book ever. So yeah, and also I just threw this random book in there because I saw this other YouTuber, I forgot her name, but she kept gassing up this book, and it's a book called I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. And just the way that she talked about it, I saw her talk about it in 2 different videos on YouTube. So I was just like, you know what, let me add it to my December TBR. I'm hoping it's a short book. I'm going to, maybe tonight I should go to the bookstore because I'm fasting and I need to get outside my apartment. I've decided I'm not going to purchase any more books on Amazon because I think I need to support local businesses. And I just don't support who Amazon is becoming or what they represent. So, yeah. Ooh, I didn't have to, ooh, my battery is dying. Okay. So, yeah. Darn it, it's blinking. So, yeah, anyways. So, that is the books for my December TBR. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. I wanted to say a little bit more, but I feel like the battery's just really dying right now. Yeah, so Project Hail Mary, I'm going to try to get my friends to read it with me. And Lonesome Dove, I might read at the same time as my dad because I also got him the book. So I want to see when he starts that book and I'll read it with him. And Sirs, I'm good with reading it on my own. So maybe tonight I'll go get the I Who Have Never Known Men. I'll walk to the bookstore because it's only 7 p.m. Yeah. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching this YouTube video. Thank you for sticking with me if you found me through Booktube, and obviously I only have one Booktube video. I'm more of a, I don't know where my niche is at, but I'm trying to move to language and book talk niching. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching my YouTube video and wish you all the best. See you soon. Ciao.